The Deere Agency specializes in helping you understand your coverage before you need it. We offer all lines of personal and commercial insurance, including auto, home, and life. Contact Don Deere at 210-507-2169 and visit us at 7529 North Loop 1604 in Live Oak, Texas, or farmersagent.com/ddeere.
Are you pregnant and alone? You have options. The Sanctuary of Hope offers expectant mothers ages 12 to 22 a place to live, medical care, counseling, continued education, and options to raise your baby in a loving environment or help you with adoption. We want to help provide you and your baby with a bright future. Call us or email us today and let's walk through this together. 210-499-1554 or sohcares.org. All inquiries are confidential.
You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shemaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shemaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again, and today we have another show with SAPD. We're going to be talking to Officer Edward Ramirez. Born and raised in San Antonio, man, he graduated from Robert E. Lee High School and also Wayland Baptist University, and he also served in the United States Air Force. First and foremost, I want to welcome Mr. Officer Edward Ramirez, Jr. to the show today and say, how you doing today, sir?
Well, good morning. Good morning. I'm doing great. Hey, you know what? Edward's my professional name. Call me Eddie. You can call me Eddie. I like it. I may call many things. Eddie's probably the best one that sticks so far.
Awesome. Well, Eddie, man, once again, welcome to the show today. Man, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, you know, Simon, just as you mentioned, yes, born and raised here in San Antonio. I did all my schooling here. I went to high school there at Robert E. Lee many years ago, graduated in 1987. Yeah, that's a long time ago. And shortly thereafter, I attempted the college direction. That really didn't work out to me at that time, early on in my young life, adult life. You know, went out and joined the military, and more specifically, I joined the Air Force Reserves. You know, and so I can't believe I'm already coming up on 32 years, still serving today, as of today, still serving in the military in the United States Air Force Reserves. I'm married. I've been married 25 years. We both, my best friend Jenny and I, we've raised two wonderful kids, Alex and Danielle. It has been a great journey, great adventure. During that time also, as we're growing, as we're, going on our journey together as a family, I joined, and I was very fortunate to be hired as a San Antonio police officer, where I'm currently now still with the police department. More specifically, I fly helicopters for the police department, and total years of service is 28 years. Where's the time gone? Yeah, it's been great. It's been a great journey.
Going back a little bit, when you decided to serve in the Air Force and wanted to say thank you for your service, what drew you into that, and how was that process like?
It was a difficult decision. It was a difficult decision at first because I really I thought college was going to be the thing for me. After graduating high school, I felt, okay, because for so long it was embedded in my mind that, okay, after you go to high school, you can continue on with college. My parents raised me to do it that way. And but when I went from, a class of 600, a graduating class in high school, to a university, even here locally at the University of Texas, San Antonio, where a class of 600, that's nothing compared to the university level. Mm-hmm. I had so much freedom, so many things that I had access to, so much time. Of course, you really have to be disciplined to go to school. The professors they're there to teach, whether you're there or not. So the first year after graduating high school and into college, I wasn't really necessarily making the grades. I was concentrating a little bit more on the partying. I was partying, as far as dating. I was doing, just everything but getting into trouble. So coming from a family where my dad was he's a retired San Antonio police officer himself, And coming from his angle, being a disciplinarian like he was, I was going nowhere fast. My life was spiraling downhill, and I needed something to get back on track. And so that's why I joined the military. More specifically, the reserves. I joined the reserves because being in San Antonio, there is an Air Force base here in San Antonio, and they offer both the luxury of military with also a part-time job, and they also give you the benefits, or you're awarded benefits to go to school, go back to school, and you're here locally. So I had the best of both worlds, staying here in San Antonio, the place where I grew up, and also being able to make a living. So it worked out.
You listen to I Am Refocused Radio. We are talking to Officer Eddie Ramirez right here on this show and learning all about his career in SAPD and also his story with having experience with the United States Air Force. What was some of the things that you took away from the military experience? What were some of the values that you were able to obtain from that?
Oh, I've taken so many things away, but really and truly, it was part of the culture, the discipline, and taking care of each other, taking care of what we call airmen, taking care of airmen. It seems like our military is one of the top notches in the military, no matter what service you're in. We're the United States of America, and so we defend our lands here. We also help out, countries overseas as well. So a lot of these smaller countries, bigger countries, they look to us. We're a superpower. And so being in the military, just the discipline that I was able to get and the drive, of wearing the uniform and being proud and leading, mentoring, supervising, it's an incredible feeling. Not only that, and you're not doing it by yourself, you're doing it with others as well. So at an early age, at 19, when I joined the military, I felt as part of the team. I wasn't one that, hey, you know what, he's just a young kid, and that type of deal. He's new, he's a rookie, whatever. Sure, it was, but yet I was afforded the opportunity to work with others, the more seasoned and veteran members, and they treated me like family. And we went and we did our job. We traveled all over the world, from place to place, delivering stuff, humanitarian goods, and humanitarian needs, and you name it. I was able to transport that. So the military, it's played a big impact on my life today.
And with the leadership skills and disciplinary skills that you obtained there and other valuable experience, when you transition out of there and you have an opportunity to be in SAPD, what was that transition process like?
So it was when I transitioned from the military to the police department, boot camp, if you will, or the police academy. When we went through, I mean, if you compare both, because it's not easy getting into the police department here in San Antonio. They run a real strict police academy. So you had to be physically fit, and then you had to have that mindset. And so transitioning from the military over to the police department, it just made it that much easier. Sure, I mean, was it strict? Yeah, it was strict. No different than the military. Did you have to be studious? Did you have to have that mindset of studying all the time and being disciplined to stay at home and do what you need to do to get ready for the test at the end of the week or during the week? So really, the police academy, for me, coming from the military, having that military way of life, it wasn't as tough compared to several other of my classmates in the police academy. Now, once I graduated the police academy, and I was able to go off and see for myself, and actually get into the law enforcement career field, and being able to work out in the streets, I still had that composure because all I did was I transitioned from one uniform to another. And so I was still looking sharp. I was still being proud of who I am. And it was representing. I was a representative of the police department, but also I was also a representative of a veteran from the military.
You listen to I Am Refocused Radio, talking to Officer Eddie Ramirez. And you mentioned earlier in the show about your father also being a police officer. Was some of the things that you learned from him, and were you able to discuss with him maybe some advice and some things to know in being an officer?
That's a great question, because really and truly, my dad didn't want me to be a police officer. So my dad retired in 2006, and he served almost 35 years on the police department. And during his time frame of being a police officer, it was tough. It was really tough. And so as things were trying to get better, and with the rules were changing, the laws were changing, but it was still a tough job. And so he didn't want me to be a police officer because it was demanding, and police officers they don't work a normal schedule. They're not like a 8 to 5 job. Police officers, we work 24/7. When the operation's still 24/7, 7 days a week. So my dad, when I joined the military and after I got out, and he was telling me, "What are you going to do now?" I said, "Dad, I want to be a police officer. I want to follow your footsteps," because my dad really, he was very well liked, and he already had his reputation. And he told me, and he forewarned me, he says, "It's going to be tough." I said, "Dad, I'm up for the challenge." And so I was raised to, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to go all in. And so he offered some advice. He offered the support. Him and my mom, they offered some support for me and told me, "Hey, whatever you want to do, we're here to help you. But you're a man now, and so you're going to fall. You're going to struggle, but hey, that's life. And so but being willing to do so. But when you go out in the streets," he says, "treat everybody with dignity and respect, no matter what. Even the person that you're going to arrest or that's under arrest, treat them with dignity and respect. Because you know what? We all have bad days. Mm-hmm. We all have great days. We all make mistakes. And the only difference between the people who get caught and the and us on the law enforcement side is that, you know what, they had a worse day than we did. And so, but it goes down to the golden rule: treat everybody with dignity and respect. And believe it or not, I took that to heart. And even with some of the people that I end up arresting or have arrested over the years, there's times where I've come across them and they'll come and shake my hand later. And they'll thank me, and they thanked me and said, "Hey, officer, let me introduce you to my family. I'll never forget that day that you treated me with respect, and you took, as if I was still a human being." So that goes a long way, treating everybody with dignity and respect, and that's what that was some of the words of encouragement and advice that I received from my dad.
When you have these interactions, because you were talking moments ago about how some of your interactions with people, they appreciate you treating them like a human being and giving them a chance to be heard and a chance to be understood. What advice do you have for young people, not just in San Antonio, but just here in the United States? What advice would you give to young people how they can have better relations with officers?
That's a great question, Shemai. Especially during the time frame that we're during the times we're going through right now, where we have so many obstacles, a challenge, not so many obstacles, that we call them challenges. So many challenges now, with the racial tensions, with the COVID, with even the political aspects, and so it's just so many things to absorb and try and overcome, and it's not easy. Mm-hmm. It's not easy. But I look at everybody as me raising my two children. My young adults, and I let them know, hey, you know what? Treat people as if the way you want to be treated, and that's where it goes with the golden rule. Treat everybody with dignity and respect, and it goes a long way. Because we're all human. I firmly believe that there's a lot of great people in this world that want to do good things. And social media doesn't help out at times, because there's times where they show the negativity and things, but there are a lot of great people in this world that want to do great things, and it'll be twicefold given back. If you treat them, the way you want to be treated, and it goes a long way, and people remember that, So So our young, really and truly, we call them our millennials. Our millennials, they're right now, they're a voice. They're the voice that we're listening to, and it's great. It's great to see. It's great to hear what they're doing and how they're doing it, and because they want change. And so I'm all for it. I think that there's a right way of doing it and the wrong way of doing it. A legal way of doing it and an unlawful way of doing it. And just don't get wrapped up into, the unlawful way of doing things. And just do it legally and just, do it for what matters most. And do it for each other and say, and know that you're not alone. You're not alone. Like I said, it just, this world, I'm happy to be, part of this society and to see when I come across somebody that's been down and to help them back up, whether they stumble to a knee or fallen flat on their face, and for me to come up and just say hello or good morning. Believe it or not, just those little just those little words makes a difference. Again, we don't know each other's lives and what's going on. We may be in a hurry, because of a car accident. We're trying to get to our loved one. We all have different stories. But if we treat everybody with love, dignity, respect, this world will be a lot better place.
And once again, you listen to I Am Refocused Radio, talking to Officer Eddie Ramirez Jr. and about his career with SAPD and his life story. I love what you said about everything you just said a moment ago. And I want to echo what we've been saying since we've been talking to Officer Green. The blue is with you, San Antonio. And when you see the opportunities that we do have right now, a lot of people are caught up in the noise. A lot of people are focused on a lot of emotional things. What would you say to San Antonio when it comes to officers being there for the community and how the community can work with officers moving forward?
We are here for the community. We are. We have a great police department. We have a great community. And so not to be afraid to come up to us and talk to us. And likewise, we should be afraid to talk to our community, whether if it's an outreach program or just out in the streets. We have a job to do. We have a job to do, and that's, again, to serve our public and the people that we're hired to do, provide that safe haven, if you will. So we're not afraid to talk to you. If there's something going on, please ask us. Come up to us. We are human. We're not robots. We are human. We love to embrace the fellowship within our community. In fact, we have probably one of the best communities compared to other communities here in the state of Texas, even in the United States. Mm-hmm. I know that, and I'm not biased. Okay, maybe I am, but no, even then, because I've had a chance to visit other departments, other cities, where their police department is just not even thought of as, oh my goodness, it's all part of the government. Mm-hmm. No, we have a great community here in San Antonio, and our police department mingles with our community rather well. And we'll go out there, and when they want to, when they want questions, when they want answers, we'll provide them answers, provided that it's in a timely manner, right? Provided in a timely manner. But like I said, we are here together. We are here. I say this, we're here to overcome this together. Not you versus me, or me versus you. No, we're over here. We're here to overcome this together. We're going to get through this. San Antonio is probably one of the best cities, because we have that small town atmosphere, but yet we're a large city. And why? Because we have a close knit group, a community, and I firmly believe that. I don't mind talking to anybody. No matter who they are, where they come from. And again, it goes back to what the golden rule is. Let's treat each other with respect. Let's treat each other with dignity. Let's treat each other with love, because that goes a long way. That goes a long way. So I feel that our community and our police department, we have a bond. Sure, you have some noise out there that thinks differently, but really and truly, as a whole, we do a great job. We do a great job.
And speaking of community, you also are part of church communities and groups, organizations. Before we let you go today, touch on some organizations that you're a part of that you can share with San Antonio.
Oh, I was really involved, and COVID's taken a big hit on us all, and that's kind of delayed my volunteering. But with my church, I concentrate on young adults, from the faithful ministry, young adults, trying to provide them that guidance from a faith-based angle. Even men, trying to provide that faith-based angle. I've been involved with Shields of Christ, which kind of caters to law enforcement, firefighters throughout the nation, faith-based, finding their ways. Even the ministry of the Third Cross, which is ironic because me being a police officer, why would I minister men and women, particularly men that are in the system, that are in the penal system? Why would I cater to them or help them, serve them? Well, it's because, they had a bad day. Or they had bad several days, and they were scared. They didn't have anybody to turn to. So here, me being a police officer and taking off my badge, taking off my mask, and going out and serving the ministry of the Third Cross, that's a great organization that I volunteer my time and services for. I've made so many friends, or I call them brothers in Christ, through that ministry, and they call me up every now and then, or they'll shoot me a text message on the holidays, or Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Birthday even, and here they are. They had a bad day and bad situation, and they got caught by the police, and they got arrested, served time in penal institutions. So, but yet they're still children of God. Mm-hmm. And we treat everybody with dignity, respect, but most importantly, we also treat them with love, and provide that love to them. It speaks volumes.
Once again, you listen to Iron Refocus Radio, talking to Officer Eddie Ramirez Jr. And more information you want to learn about what the organization he was just speaking of, you can go to shieldsofchrist.org. That's shieldsofchrist.org. And also a quick pitch. Anybody listening right now who has been inspired by this story, and one day if you're thinking about being an officer, you can go to SAPDcareers.com. That's SAPDcareers.com. And speaking of that, Officer Eddie, if you take a moment real quick, do a pitch for any young man or woman who's listening right now who's interested in becoming an officer here in San Antonio, what advice would you give them, and what would you tell them to be excited for?
So it's ironic that you're talking about recruiting, because if you go to the recruiting page, my picture's on there on the recruiting page. So I'm part of the recruiting storyline. But if I went out and I started recruiting, this is probably one of the best jobs that you'll ever find. That we continue on with the brotherhood and sisterhood. We take care of each other. The pay is good, but the benefits are greater. When it comes to insurance for yourself or insurance for your family, we also have incentives to send you to school. For those of us that didn't finish school on time and that were able to finish at a later on, we pay for your education as well. And it's a great feeling to be part of the San Antonio Police Department, because we are indeed a family of 2,200 plus strong. And so, we always need the help. We can always we'll be here for each other. And what better way than to give back, to your community by serving your community, but serving as a police officer. That's what I would sell, how I would sell that to them. Speaking of serving,
there's a scripture, Matthew 25:23. Well done, my good and faithful servant. Mm-hmm. So with that said, let's talk to San Antonio, city of San Antonio. Once again, the community of San Antonio. When you see people out and about, they're going to work or they're having a business, moving forward as one community, what would you like to tell the listener as far as how we can move forward as a city and be an example to not just the state of Texas, but to this country of what it's like to be a San Antonio?
Be proud. Be proud of who you are. San Antonio is built as a city of different cultures, different backgrounds, different ethnicities. I mean, we're so diverse, but yet we're all as one. And to be proud, be proud to be a San Antonian when you go and travel from city to city, state to state, because we have a great community. We get along with each other, we love each other, and we take care of each other. So that's what's great about us in San Antonio. No matter what side of town you live on, no matter what background you come from, no matter where you're born and raised, and came and are now living here in San Antonio, you are part of the family. And together, as a family, we will overcome the challenges ahead. Be proud of who you are. Don't take no for an answer. Continue moving forward. Because you can always, and if you do stop, and if you do stumble, I guarantee you there's going to be someone next to you that will pick you up and raise you up and will take care of you and guide you on your journey.
Once again, listen to I Am Refocused Radio. We want to thank Officer Eddie Ramirez Jr. for being on the show today. And like we always been saying, we started this with Officer Douglas Green. The blue is with you. So in San Antonio, thank an officer today, first responder today, active, veteran, military personnel today. And like Officer Eddie Ramirez Jr. just said, let's move as one and let's move forward. Like we say on every single show, keep God first, stay focused, and peace.
Hi, San Antonio. Need a barber? Visit our good friend Rico Rodriguez, the owner of Rockefeller's Barbershop in San Antonio, Texas, 1733 Babcock Road, and book your appointment today by calling 210-782-5188.